So I recently got done playing Doom: The Dark Ages, and I gotta say, it is amazing. It is phenomenal. The amount of action, the enjoyment that I got out of it, it was worth every single penny. Well, for me, I had Game Pass, but I did purchase the premium upgrade, which I think was like an extra like $20 or $30, where I was able to play the game early, and I got like some, skins or whatever. But regardless, I enjoyed my time with the game. With that being said, I'm exhausted with the internet. And the funny thing is, with responses of criticism of games and so on, I normally just go, oh, IGN, oh, shut up. What'd you say? Too much water in Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire, where it's land and sea, too much water? So you gave it a low score? And it's not even that big of a problem? Okay. I wish that it was still just me being like, oh, great, IGN's reviewing another Sonic game. What are they going to say? But no. Now it's like everyone that just has thumbs and can type a stupid take on the internet, on Twitter, or X, and say just stuff that makes no sense to me. Not every game needs to be this, top-end, blockbuster selling game. And not every game is going to be like GTA 6, and that's okay. I can find enjoyment in a lot of games, but not be like, oh, man, this is a game that I want to, this is now my personality. I'm just going to play it every single day. I can just play through it from A to B and be like, that was great. It was worth it. And that's how I felt with Doom: The Dark Ages, and I believe they're going to be doing DLCs, and I look forward to returning to those. But, gosh darn it. What is going on? I'm seeing people say the game is too slow. People are saying, oh man, the game is not a seller for me because there's no glory kills. The dragon parts and the mech parts are just garbage. I just don't like that they changed so many things from Eternal. It's more, the shield combat rather than the vertical, double jumps and all that. Listen, just say you haven't played the game. I guarantee majority of the people talking a lot of bad things about the game are not even playing it. Or you just live a very disappointing life, and I'm not listening to that. Listen. I want to live a life where I'm enjoying things, even just the smallest of things, and I don't want to be dragged into this whole this rain clouds and just bad days, whatever, for every single video game that releases. And I hate, as soon as I see a Steam chart of numbers of players, I'm already like, oh, here we go. I've been seeing those for single player games. I even saw it with Pal World, where I'm like, yes, the people that got the enjoyment from start to finish, that feel like, okay, I had my time with it, will stop playing it for the time being until there's any major updates, and people keep coming back, just for a lot of games. It just happens. But single player games, yes, they're going to lose numbers. Sometimes they won't, if it's just that great of a game, but it's just so exhausting. Doom: The Dark Ages is a great game. Listen, it's not perfect. Yes, I would love the glory kills to be back. I feel like that was one of the weirder choices. You do have that mechanic where when the enemies are low health, you're able to just do that melee, run at them and get some health out of them and stuff, just like what the glory kills did. Except now it's you kick them with your boot, you punch them, or you hit them with your shield. And the only real actual animations for the most part are the big bosses when you do stuff against them. Or there's these higher end enemies that will have an upgrade that you'll have to take from them, and you take it from their insides. But other than that, the game is great. It's I wasn't wanting just Doom Eternal 2. Like, when I heard that this one was a prequel, I was like, okay, I need to expect this is going to be different. Like, Doom 2016 to Doom Eternal was like a leap forward into that, like, overly fast, you know, double jumping kind of combat and everything. So, okay, Doom the Dark Ages, when I saw the shield, I was like, okay, this is going to be different. But that doesn't make it bad. Like, I feel like if this wasn't just worded as Doom, like, people would look at it differently. I just feel like at this point, people are just mad at things just to be mad. I mean, the sad truth is, and it's probably going to happen with even my own videos. I mean, I made a video, like, being upset about the Nintendo versus Pal World, and that video was doing well. People eat up negativity. And, like, I try not to just focus just those things, but I do it too. Like, I mean, I get it. But when there's a game that genuinely is very good, and you still have people, like, just having to tell you, no, you can't enjoy this thing, it sucks. And that's kind of why, like, I just turn off my, you know, phone and I just play the game and just make my own opinions. I mean, like I said, it used to be just IGN that was just doing this kind of stuff, but now you have everybody doing it. And again, I just feel like a lot of those things are just rage bait. It's just to get engagement, to get clicks, to get views, to get that, you know, conversation going. And, you know, that's just how things are. Again, I'm not going to say that I'm not going to be caught doing that. I mean, I recently also made a video talking about how I feel about Pokemon ZA, where I'm very disappointed. But I still, like, go and, like, you know, I kind of like these things. It's just, yeah, it's not Legends. And I go into a lot of detail on why I say this. Doom the Dark Ages, though, I went into there being like, it's going to play like Doom, but it's going to be a little bit different. And the different stuff didn't bother me. If anything, it made it very good. Where it's like, okay, it fits. It really does fit. And I play it on the ultra-violent difficulty. It took me, I can't remember how many hours, but I did try my best to get most, if not all, like, the collectibles. I did miss a few things, but I was doing the upgrades for the weapons. The upgrades for the weapons, oh my goodness, the weapons themselves were feeling amazing. The one weapon where it's literally like a ball on a chain, it just felt so satisfying. The noise, the sound design was amazing. The graphics were amazing. And, like, I was shocked how well it was running even on, like, the Series X when it's got all that ray tracing and such. But I enjoyed the game. So, again, and even the dragon parts, I wasn't like, oh man, this is just overdoing it. It was a change of pace. They don't, like, throw it in there, like, just as filler for the most part. The animations are amazing. Definitely big Doom. When you go to the mech parts, oh, it's just as... I love those parts. Like, you really feel like you're a giant Titan just taking down all these, like, giant demons in a giant mech suit. You get, like, a big weapon and all that stuff at parts. The parrying or dodging mechanics and stuff, like, they're very good. I like the parry systems that they went for as well. It felt like an arcade game. It felt like I was playing what Doom would be in modern day. Like, that's how Doom 2016 felt in Doom Eternal. And now I'm like, yeah, this one is also pretty good. Like, it's the same thing. So I don't know. I feel like at this point it's getting a little bit much. I don't know if I'm the only one. Maybe, like, there's going to be some of you that are like, no, I genuinely didn't really like Doom the Dark Ages compared to Doom Eternal, which is fair enough. Because, I mean, granted, though, people that were saying the game was too slow, I was laughing because that's where I was saying, like, you know, oh, you didn't play the game. You can go in the custom settings and you can turn up the game speed. I put it to 150%, and it was like insanely fast, like faster than Doom Eternal. I'm like, all those people that are raging about the game being too slow, do that. I guarantee they'll lose their minds and rage because you have to have way faster reaction times and stuff. And you can mess with a lot of settings with that too to find like the perfect mix, like on the parry, window, is it large or small, like how much damage do you do, how much damage do you take, which I remember there was a lot. That was the other thing. Like, granted though, I am an individual who is like, no, a From Software game shouldn't have a difficulty slider, because anyone that plays like Elden Ring, for example, knows there is an easy mode. I mean, Magic alone was always the easy mode. The summons was the easy mode for the most part in Elden Ring, and I did use like those things just for the fun of it. Like, I wasn't trying to do anything over the top competitive with it. So when I was seeing like people saying like, oh man, the game is way too hard, I'm like, there's ways around it. Like, it's just, you gotta just know like what the game has to offer and the different types of builds that you can go for. And Magic builds have always been known as like you can really cheese through a lot of the bosses. You'll find like a couple where it's like, okay, yeah, you're gonna have to pick up a sword, but yeah, like when Doom the Dark Ages announced that they were gonna have that, people were like so upset. I'm like, but there was always a difficulty slider, as in there's like super easy mode and stuff. Like, that's always been a thing for Doom games. So this is no different. It's just that this one, you have more options to what you're doing. And again, like, some of them are to make it even more difficult past like Nightmare with some of these settings. So I feel like that's a good thing. Like, if you want to make it really tough, where I'm like, you're insane if you do it, you can do that. But again, it's just like, at this point, it's like, do these people play games at all, or did they just get mad? I don't get it. Again, I'll get upset about things, but I find enjoyment even into the things that I'm like disappointed on. Like, a prime example is like Halo Infinite. I was disappointed on a lot of the content that they were like not giving us fast enough, but I did enjoy the campaign. There was some things I didn't like, but I genuinely liked what it was for the most part. But then you go on the internet and then it's like, no, Halo Infinite was the worst game ever. Also, I find it always funny when nostalgia starts to pop up. Like, I can't wait to like fast forward like 10 years or something like that from now, and people say like Doom the Dark Ages was better than Doom Eternal or something like that, if that's going to pop up. Because when somebody was saying Halo Reach was the best Halo game, I was like, there's no way. Because I played Halo Reach day one, and I remember non-stop complaining in the forums on Bungie's website. Like, and I even was like very like, man, it's just not the same feel as Halo 3. But I wasn't thinking it was the worst game, but it was just really funny to me, like how like the tides have turned because of time. But yeah, I genuinely really like Doom. The Dark Ages. I mean, I like Doom in general, but Doom the Dark Ages is phenomenal. And I've played the original ones, just not 3. I know that Doom 3 is where like everyone is like very mixed on. That one is where like now we can have a conversation on it, if this is bad or not, because that was a Doom title that was like completely going away from what it was originally, and it went I think a more of a horror game route. As I said, I never played it, but Doom the Dark Ages has this they're more focused on a darker, like, kind of style, more medieval style, and they nail it. And they don't like just keep it all the same. Like, I'm not going to spoil anything, but they do some crazy stuff. Specifically in one point where you're like, wait, are we awakening? Excuse me? Why? Hello? We're doing this? This is what's happening? It gets to that kind of point. Like, if you just, turn off your phone, don't look at all the negativity, and you just play the game, I guarantee you're going to enjoy the game. That's how I felt. Like, I jumped right into it the day it came out, at the exact time that it released, and I like for the early access, and I wasn't seeing any people saying the game was bad because nobody was playing it yet, or it wasn't like all over the internet yet. And I was having a blast. And then like I said, I started to see just post after post, video after video of people just complaining and acting like the game is like this awful, awful game. Like it's the next Bubsy. Like, I don't get it. Like I said, I just feel like we're at that point where engagement, getting rage into stuff is what's going to get attention. And I aim to not get to that point. Like, I want to make positive videos talking about games. It is easier, I won't lie. It is easier to be like, oh man, I hate this thing that's happening with gaming. But I also find it very enjoyable to talk about the things that I really enjoy. And I wanted to talk about this, about the things that I hate that's happening that's not tied to the game. But I want to take time to talk about how amazing the game is. Like I said, gameplay is phenomenal. The sound design, the graphics, the story, and obviously you have the DLCs. They don't really explain certain things that well because this is a prequel for Doom 2016. But I hope that they answer a lot more on what leads into Doom 2016. They do explain some decent stuff, but there's some little things that I'm gonna guess that they're leaving for the DLCs. I would love for them to do. I believe in Doom Eternal they had one that a horde mode. I was really surprised they didn't have that at launch. I won't lie, the only main negative side that I have, I'm not upset that they don't have multiplayer. I did enjoy that for the most part. I mean, they had the map editor and stuff like that, and I feel like if they took that a step forward and started to enhance, user created content, it probably would have been amazing. To the point where it's like Forge and Halo. I am sad that they don't do that, but I hope that in the next Doom game, maybe they will. But it seems like they're kind of staying away from multiplayer for this one at least. But I would have liked some kind of extra mode to play continuously, like a horde mode or whatever. And it would be cool to play with friends, have a co-op experience at least. Yes, I feel like there is room for some improvement there, but what I got, I'm still satisfied. But I can still think of things that they could definitely add. But like I said, I very much enjoyed my time with Doom: The Dark Ages, and I don't understand the hate, even the dragon parts. And I normally don't like parts where it just feels like, okay, this is just not the main game. You're just flying around and whatever. I enjoyed those parts too. I didn't feel like they overdid their stay. I don't know. Like I said, it's just one of those things, I guess. It feels like every game that gets released, it's either you're perfect or you're just slop to the internet. Listen, fellas, let's not all become IGN, okay? Let's not turn to that point, okay? Let's not, too much water on every video game, okay? Anyways, I don't know. What's your thoughts on Doom: The Dark Ages? I'm very curious on what all of you think, even with everything that I mentioned. I personally like the game. No matter what, that's just how I'm always going to feel about it. But, I want to know your opinion. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like on this video. If you want to subscribe, you can do that. And we'll talk about other things, random things, I don't know, video game stuff. I do have other channels where I, do gaming and stuff. This is my commentary channel, but regardless, thank you so much for listening. I hope you have a Chibi-tastic day, night, evening, wherever you are, and I'll see you in the next video. Chibi out.